What is the worst sorry wrong person texting story you know? I sent a picture of baked beans in a martini GL butto a group chat for planning school events. A girl begging her boyfriend to open the door and let her in so that they could work things out. How in the world does she not have his number saved on her phone under his name or Honey Bear or something? Not texting, but I got a whispery voice message one night from a man. Hi, it's me. I wonder if you can get away and meet me at the cowboy bar. I snuck away from my wife. Apostrophe. My grandma accidentally texted John it's Dave's birthday to the internet service guy. Some insurance agent called my phone the other day looking for a different person. Got a word in edgewise and told him he had the wrong number. Without missing a beat the dude transitioned to asking if I had insurance. Anything can be a sales call lol. Obstinance and persistence pays off sometimes, and randomized rewards are often a stronger motivator than predictable rewards. If you don't believe me, think about the game golf. Maybe not worst, but weirdest. I kept getting these group texts from the same group. I told them I was a wrong number. They wouldn't believe me. I just started trolling them with dark humor memes. Finally one day they realized my number was an old number of someone that was also in the group chat. They still include me. I still troll them with dark humored memes. Turns out though, the dude who was in the group chat, I have their old number, changed his number to stay clear of some bad influences. Well, I occasionally get texts for him. I troll them then p-button the message. I guess the dude's dad died and a couple people texted my number. I was able to p-button my condolences to him along with the other texts for him. I liked the one where it was a super angry text that ended with, and you need to get your poop together. Apostrophe. The reply was wrong number, but you're right. I just get realtors doing cold calls. They know they've got the wrong number, but they don't care. I did get one where a lady was telling me I had to give her $100. It wasn't an Indian scam center caller. She was just drunk and belligerent. I eventually just told her to duck off and blocked her. Back in high school, pre-smartphone days, I was texting a friend about this guy I had hooked up with and texted them something along the lines of yeah he's really hot, but he's so ducking stupid. Like the stupidest person I've ever met. Apostrophe. Except I texted it to the guy and not my friend. We were renting a house in the Hamptons from this super anal owner with pages of rules. My friend is wasted at 2 p.m. and accidentally sends the host a photo of herself crying and saying I'm wasted, but I love you to the host by mistake because her best friend shared the same name as the host. And then later in the day she set fire alarms off and the fire department came. We can't use that Airbnb account anymore. Somehow the fire chief in the next city overgot my phone number. I was added to all their group chats. I got sent the code to the fire hall and a list of all past and present firemen and their phone numbers and email addresses. There were messages about helping a guy move who wanted extra shifts and picking up metals for a ceremony. I just laughed and didn't respond to anything. My friend works for the police department in that city and I told her about it. She told 2 people in the fire department to tell the chief to stop messaging me, and they must have thought it was funny and never told him. The chief starting calling me because I wasn't confirming if I could make it to the ceremony the medals were for. I finally texted him and told him he had the wrong number. I'm the worst for doing this because someone missed out on extra shifts they might have needed. But I also got them out of helping someone move. Most ham-fisted recruitment effort ever. He wanted you on that squad. He needed you on that squad. And you had the gall to tell him he had a wrong number? He would rather you just say thank you and help him move. If anyone thinks I was seriously blasting Taspil Thetia, I'm just paraphrasing a few good men. I once sent my crush a cool photo of a tank that was meant for the boys. Semicolon. She is no longer my crush. At summer camp one year this girl dinner and I got on pretty well. So I asked our mutual friend Jill for dinner's number. Jill in fact gave me other mutual friend Amy's apostrophe number, who had a crush on me. For the next month Amy and I texted, flirted, and started to talk about going on a date next time I was in her city, with me thinking I was talking to Dana the whole time. One day I called her dinner in a text and she replied, "Who do you think you're talking to?" A very unfortunate hour proceeded. I'm a loan officer at a large mortgage company. I've been coaching a guy for a year on how to get approved for a home. I had him a week from close last May, and then COVID crushed his program. I like him, I'd drink a beer with him, but damn it, he's a 40W bulb in a 60W world. He and I were texting last week while I was out on sales calls. After I finished with him, I texted my assistant, "Please call Doe about the DocuSign. He's special and can't figure it out." Apostrophe. Sent that poop to Doe. Back in high school I got a random call at like 4 AM. It was a guy looking for another guy for some drug thing or something. I was asleep when I answered. Up until he threatened to kill me. I told him he had the wrong number and went back to sleep. He called again like a minute later, and we established he had written down the number wrong. This was like a 5-minute conversation. He was weirdly thankful, and I think he offered to get me a prostitute. He said I seemed like I'd like a hot blonde. I declined and never heard from him again. I would have sworn I dreamed the whole thing, but I texted my girlfriend at the time and she confirmed the next day that I wasn't dreaming. A grandmother kept texting me thinking I was her grandson. She was really concerned about his whereabouts and well-being. I finally called her and apologetically informed her that she had the wrong number and that I hope her grandson is okay and reaches out to her soon. Years ago there was an elderly lady who called our house a couple times a month asking for someone we didn't know. She was trying to reach her grandson. A chat had given her the wrong number or she wrote it down wrong or something. But over about 5 months she called at least 10 times. It was never easy to get off the phone with her. She was obviously lonely, and I don't think any call was less than 10 minutes. If she got my husband it was more like half an hour. We dropped that number and didn't think about it until afterward that she might not get someone who'd talk to her. We felt awful about it, but it was too late. Woman texted my friend a racy pic telling him to hurry home. He has text previews on his phone, so when he asked his fiancée to hand him his phone she immediately went from laughing at what they were watching to total rage, and my friend was completely blindsided. You'd think if you were sending nudes to an unsaved number you'd make sure the number is correct. He texted the number back and gave the woman a hard time. She begged him to delete it, which he did because he's a good guy. One time in college my roommate and I were overtired and delusional. We decided to compete for who could fit through the smallest opening in our multi-level TV stand. Like crawling through the metal frame of the TV stand. I recorded her attempt on my phone with some dramatic flute music in the background as she birthed herself through the side of the TV stand. She went on my phone without my knowledge later and tried to send the video to our mutual friend. She accidentally sent it to a high school teacher of mine of the same name, who I had not spoken to since high school. That was fun to explain. We have a coworker that is known for just making the wrong choice in any scenario and always making mistakes in general. On an out of town work trip, 4 of us were just hanging out having some pizza and beer on our day off. I joked that we should call him to see if he made any mistakes today. Well, he proceeds to tell me he has a funny photo to send me. Just as he sends it, I hear "oh shit." Silence. For like a minute. "I'll call you back," and hangs up. At this point we are rolling in laughter. 5 minutes later he calls and said he ducked up. He ended up sending a very NSFW picture to his last customer, a police officer, via his work phone. I'm talking an old lady vomiting on a dumber type picture. Not sure why he thought that was a funny photo. Luckily the cop said it wasn't a big deal and nothing came of it, but damn did he just live up to the hype of being a train wreck. I accidentally texted a wrong number once when I was really upset. Long story short, I had a really poopy ex-BF who would disappear for days and not contact me or tell me where he was going. Anyways, I was at the end of my rope one night and texted him from someone else's phone to try to get him to respond. I sent this really long text about how much he was hurting me and I wanted to know where he was. Turns out I texted someone else who was really sweet to me and told me to dump my ex, lol. For the purpose of this story I'll call them friend A and friend B. Friend A gets hold of friend B's phone, proceeds to text friend B's sister the message, "I want to lick your flaps, PS don't tell mum." Friend B's sister not very amused, so as revenge friend B gets hold of friend A's phone and sends the message, I want to boom your blank and anything else that's on offer to every female name in his contact list. Turns out it was his work phone, not his personal one. Lost his job 2 weeks later. His professional credibility couldn't be recovered. My high school boyfriend accidentally sent me a text meant for someone else about talking about how he had cheated on me, so that was great. My mother asked me to wish my grandmother a happy birthday, so she gave me her number and I typed a message along these lines. Hello, I'm your grandson. Happy birthday, apostrophe. Next thing I read, she apologized by saying that she doesn't know me. We double check with my mom. It was her number. She isn't old enough to forget me, and she definitely knows who I am. TL. Doctor, grandmother don't recognize me. I want to send my pic, nude, as X-Mars postcard to my friend, but sent it to new dialogue that appeared in last seconds. It was simple. Hi. Let back quote s go playing lol. From guy who find me in League of Legends community page. He was very surprised, and I was confused. My uncle, Hossa cop several states away, once sent message to me instead of someone he was paying for sex. Hi beautiful, are you awake? Would love to see you $! Morning $! When I was 13 I got a nude pic texted to me by a random lady. She wasn't all that attractive, and I was pretty sure she was being taken advantage of. I blocked the number, but of course, my mom had access to all of our phone numbers, so she flipped out until she realized it was a mistake. She actually contacted the police about it cause the woman clearly had bruise and cut marks all over her. Don't know what happened after that, but I had to switch my number due to moving a while later anyways. So my stepdad calls my mom. He greets her with hey honey bun or something like that. She replies what? He accidentally called my aunt. It was hilarious. I had sent my sister a screenshot of a conversation between me and my replica, an AI chatbot, to show her how impressive the program was. My sister texted me back, which is you, which is the bot, apostrophe. Then I thought I replied to my sister saying haha. You know it's a conversation between an autistic and an advanced AI. When you have to ask which is which, apostrophe. Only I didn't reply to my sister. I replied to the most recent message in my phone, which was actually a group text of my colleagues, the team of 6th grade science teachers. My colleagues did not know that I'm autistic, and I pretty much had to explain it to them over a Teams meeting, because otherwise, without context, it just seemed like I was randomly making fun of special needs people, which, not a good look for a teacher. Also, I apparently failed a Turing test lol. I broke up with an ex over text. I know that sounds horrible, but it was long distance and we weren't serious. He wasn't even really a boyfriend, but I did feel the need to officially end things before I started dating someone else. The bad thing was I went to go text the guy I was going to date. Just broke up with him. I'm all yours, and accidentally sent it to the guy I just broke up with because I was texting them both at the same time. Felt really poopy. I would say it wasn't bad as much as it was funny. I was talking to a friend about a car/wheels of some kind and couldn't explain in detail what I was trying to get across. So, I found a picture of what I was trying to describe, a picture of a wheel, and sent it to someone I had just added and barely knew. Shortly after I realized what I had done, the person never responded back and it always makes me laugh thinking about it. LMAO. My uni flatmates and I were at a pub, and I texted my friend. Jack is so creepy. I think I hate him. Sent it to Jack by accident. I was freaking out because I was really scared of him. I managed to play it off though. Then over the course of few months I was getting MSN chats from new accounts with incredibly obscene messages. I knew it was him. No one believed me because he was so Christian. My spoons also kept going missing, but of course no one believed me that it was Jack. Well, one day I got a text from a random number pretending to be my ex-BF, but I knew it was Jack. I lied and said I knew how I could expose him. A few days later we realized we haven't seen Jack in a while. We go into his room and find out everything was packed up and he had left uni. Opened up his bedside drawer and what did we find? All of my spoons. It was bizarre because it was a really prestigious uni and he just ducked it all up. I feel like that wrong text really made him spiral into super creepy mode. My mom was texting me about how we almost raised enough money for Save the House, but put the number she was texting to one number off, and this guy told her she texted the wrong number, then went off on a tirade about how he doesn't have any money to give to her, and it's pathetic that she would ask him for money, even though it was a mistake and a mistype, that she wasn't actually texting him, and she was actually trying to text her daughter and not him. Obviously a mistake, but he just wouldn't shut up and had to actually block his butt because he wouldn't shut up about it. When I got my first job in high school and was filling out my W-2, I realized I didn't know my social security number. I quickly typed in my mom's phone number, so I thought, and texted SSN apostrophe. I got a dramatic response for not even trying to hide that I was trying to scam someone. Called ducking stupid, etc. I just texted back, sorry, thought this was my mom. I need her to tell me my SSN so I can fill out a form for my new job. They responded with something along the lines of, oh, sorry, congrats on the job, apostrophe. Back in the days when you had to look up phone numbers in the student directory, a buddy of mine, who was a notorious checkester, changed his phone number without telling anyone. I texted him and got a WTF is this reply. I figured he was messing with me, so I replied, it's me stupid, your stalker, which spiraled into me laughing at this hilarious and increasingly dark string of texts, totally in line with my buddy's brand of humor, and ended with me no longer laughing when the police called. I had some splaining to do. I was 14 and have / not shared my number with anyone I don't know, semicolon. Suddenly, a Japanese number texts me with images from a party. Responded in English. Got no answer. They disappeared back into the void. Got a text from my then GF which was sent to me by accident. It said he's boring and needs to get a life, referring to me. Some people just aren't compatible. I was flipping through channels at work trying to find a music station. As I was going past the adult XXX channels and reading the hilarious titles, one in particular caught my attention. Ass Pounders 4 or something. I texted my boyfriend for a laugh, complaining about the low effort title and how disappointed I was with their writer. Except I didn't text him. I texted my former boss, whose number one still had, as I had recently asked him for a reference. He was a good sport and agreed that the title lacked imagination. I was beyond embarrassed. My grandmother had an upstairs neighbor and his cat would sometimes come down to visit her cat. It was super cute. Well, one time he called and asked, would you like a little visitor? But it was the wrong number. That poor person was very confused. Ugh. Got. So it wasn't a text, but actually instant message on AIM. I guess at this time, I was talking to multiple people. One was a roller play and the other a high school friend who I called Wiffy because I'm sure I had a crush on her back in the day. I think she and I were talking about schoolwork and I was in the middle of a steamy scene in the roller play with the other person. Lo and behold, I had to copy paste something and I had gotten into the habit of doing that for RPs in case of an issue. I accidentally sent that to my friend instead of a link she needed. I immediately spammed her with messages, telling her to not read that message. That I'm sorry, but that was intended for someone else. And all she said was, lol, it's okay. And we never spoke of it again. Lol. Sorry, Wiffy. I hope she forgot about that incident. When I was 18, some girl texted the wrong number, me. We ended up sleeping together 2 hours later. And that's how I lost my virginity. Not a text, but I got a voicemail from a little old lady in tears offering condolences. I did not know her nor the person who passed. I called her back and offered my condolences to her over a voicemail and gently explained that I was not the person she was trying to contact. Sorry, wrong person. The best one I have is when I, male, sent a text to my sister's husband because she was going to be out of town for work for a few days and wanted to see if he'd like some company / a chance to catch up. Turned out he'd switched phone/numbers semi-recently and the number had already gone back into circulation. Got a very abrupt text back telling me this was their new number and not to contact them again. I appreciated the information, but they also seemed way too snippy/odd in their language choice until I went back and reread my text without the unspoken context and it totally sounded like I was trying to continue an affair with an old flame while his wife was out of time. Lol. We had a good laugh about it later when I showed him the texts. Accidentally sent to my brother. As Gore from Undertale is really cute. I wanna kiss his cute lol goat face. Now he won't stop making jokes about how I like him. I don't anymore. FML. My cousin played in a band a couple of years ago, and after the show, I sent her a gif of a guy trying to play the trombone and accidentally bonking it on his head. I also added it with, "Did well in your show today, except for this guy." I was laughing, then I realized I sent it to my dad. __. I accidentally texted a client that has the same first name as my bud dealer asking for a sack. I was mortified. We never spoke of it again, but he continued being a client. Someone texted my dad saying Gwen's baby shower was on the 15th and asked if he would bring the potato salad. My dad said yes. Poor Gwen missed having a friend at her baby shower and potato salad. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.